And so while I've been off busy doing this people's business, I've had a handful of senators who looked out for the Treasury. And I can't tell how important that is. It's hard for the average person to understand how much $25 billion is. You know, that's larger than the state budget, and that's your trust fund. And we had people who were attacking that trust fund. We had people who wanted to spend that money in ways they shouldn't have been spent. We had people who wanted to open up the doors so that it would be less efficient and more people would have their hands into it. And at every turn, Ronnie Cromer stood up for us. He stood up for me. He stood up for the taxpayers. If you've ever been in the Senate, I know people like Mr. Howard and others have, you go there and you see where the leadership sits on the front row. And they come back and they tell you to sit down. And you sit down. But Ronnie didn't. And because of Ronnie and 2 or 3 other senators, we have beaten those folks back every time. At one time, we had the chief executive officer of the state newspaper, and Senator Leatherman, all 3 after me one day. And Ronnie and 2 other senators stood up and said no, and before it was over with, their arguments won their day, and we won that fight 35-10. We started off going to lose that fight the other way. So I can't tell you how much it means. I don't normally come out during election season and do these kind of talks, but for Ronnie Cromer, I'm coming. I think about service a lot. I'm only a year into a 4-year term. And so most of us were raised in the Protestant church, not everybody, but most of us. So we know we know the New Testament. And the New Testament talks about service a lot. And one of the things it says is, you know, he that is first shall be last, and his last shall be first. You know what that means is you put yourself last. Ronnie stood up to the people in power. He put himself last, and he put you forward. And that meant a lot to me. I see these things in biblical terms. And then the second quote that I love so much, and this is the best, is that no man can serve 2 masters. And everybody's heard that, but a lot of people forget what the rest of it is. No man can serve 2 masters, because in time you'll learn to despise one and love the other. Well, if you're a politician and you're serving yourself and you're serving the people, I think we all know who you're going to end up loving and who you're going to end up despising. Well, Ronnie didn't love himself. Again, he loved the service to the people, and he stood up. So Ronnie, I won't go any longer. I'll let you talk to the folks, but I can't tell you how much. And on behalf of the State Treasury, where we bank $34 billion, and the Investment Commission, where we have $25 billion, you folks can know that your money is safer today because y'all sent Ronnie Cromer to the Senate. Thank you, Ronnie.